from Coco's death in Death of the Virgin to Santo Padre activating the kill switch for Marcus in the Season 4 finale. These are the most heartbreaking moments in Mayans MC. The series takes a lot of inspiration from its big brother, Sons of Anarchy. Even though the two are completely different, Mayans MC delivers the same shocking twists, violence, and heartbreaks. Fans agree that Season 4 was one of the best entries in the show. One episode that highlights this is Episode 5 of Season 4, titled Death of the Virgin. We've seen countless tragedies before, and we've gotten over them, but the unexpected loss of Coco hit the fans very deep. He watched a firework display in honor of his fallen brothers and had an emotional call with Hope. But right then, a car full of sons showed up, shot him twice in the back, and drove away. Like a lot of deaths in the series, Coco was left on the ground in a pool of his own blood with no one to help him. Fans were shocked. If you look at social media and online forums from 2022, you'll quickly realize how important he was to them. There have been a lot of brutal and needless deaths on both shows, but Coco's hit differently. In fact, it reminded fans of Opie Winston. Both of them were vital to their gangs, and they were like the glue that held everything together. When you watched them in a gunfight, you wanted them to come home safely. Fans also wanted them to one day start fresh and leave the violence behind. It's like they were a ray of hope in a very dark world. Even though Sutter wasn't involved in the making of Season 4, it feels like he gave Elgin his narrative playbook to keep the series interesting for viewers. One critic said that he knew exactly which character to kill off to hurt fans the most. And it shows. A fan who hadn't watched Sons of Anarchy said, "Is this what the fandom felt when Opie died? If so, I finally get it." People on Twitter agreed with that 100%. Some of them thought that the show killed Coco for no reason and that it was simply for shock value. It's been done in movies and TV shows before, but it wasn't the case here. Just like Opie's death was a turning point for Jax, Coco's death was the turning point for Angel. It's meant to turn his world upside down and to start his downward spiral. This is similar to what happened between Easy and his ex, Gabby, in the 7th episode of Season 4. It changed things for him on a fundamental level. In Season 3, one of the main aspects of his character development was his relationship with Gabby. She wanted to leave the violence and bloodshed behind and start a new life. She wanted him to come with her, and he was willing to leave the Santo Padre chapter behind, but it didn't work out, so she ended things with him and moved on. Fans agree that this was the right thing to do and that she should have left sooner, because what happened next broke everyone's hearts. In Season 4, Episode 7, Easy, Angel, and Manny launched an attack on the Sons for the murder of several Mayans, but it was mostly supposed to be a payoff for Coco's death in Episode 5. They chose to do it at the hospital at UC Davis, but there was a big problem. Gabby was working as a nurse there, and unfortunately for her, she saw Angel shooting a security guard and she recognized EZ. The two of them grabbed her and took her to a remote area. They weren't gonna kill her, they simply needed her not to tell the cops about them. But the guard Angel shot was her friend, and she was gonna turn him in no matter what. What's worse is that she told EZ that she wanted to get back together. Breaking up was a mistake, and turning Angel in could be a step in the right direction. In response, EZ shot her dead. This was one of the most upsetting and heartbreaking moments in the series. EZ was turning into Clay Morrow, and he didn't care who he killed in order to gain power. A fan said that they saw Gabby's death coming from a mile away. The moment she said that she'd turn Angel in, they knew she was a goner. But they weren't expecting EZ to do it. They thought that Angel would be the one to pull the trigger. Another person said that Gabby's death is even sadder when you realize that she was trying to convince a version of EZ that didn't exist anymore. After she broke up with him, he didn't have a reason to redeem himself anymore. Her death pushed him over the edge and made him irredeemable in the fans' eyes. Season 4's littered with tragic moments like this one, but Season 5 has fewer scenes like this. There's not a lot of emotional moments to go around, but the ones that are hit you even more intensely. Adelita's death in Episode 7 is arguably one of the saddest deaths in the series so far. She's been an important part of the series ever since it started. Fans loved her as the leader of Los Olvidados and her complex relationship with Angel. What made her even more interesting was her backstory. Her family was killed by the Galindo cartel, and ever since then, she's been at war against them. But in Episode 7, things went sideways. She gets a deal to kill EZ and save her life. She refuses and decides to steal the cartel's money so she can leave something behind for her baby. She tries finding shelter with Minnie, hoping she'd understand, but she kills her instead. Carla Barada, who played Adelita, was completely heartbroken about her character's fate. She knew that when Adelita refused to kill EZ, her death was on the way. There was no way out of it, so the only thing she could do was steal as much money as possible for her baby's future. But Carla thought that it'd be Miguel Galindo or one of his men who'd find her and pull the trigger. Minnie's compound was supposed to be a safe space for her. She took care of her when she found her in a dumpster in season 3. She promised her that they'd be together. So when Minnie decides to kill her, it comes as a complete shocker. It's like Coco's death. It was unexpected and feels like something Sutter would write for the series, but what's interesting is how the fans reacted to her death. A lot of them felt that Minnie killing Adelita was completely out of character for her. She'd spent so much time with her that she was more or less her adopted daughter. One fan didn't understand why Minnie did it, even after rewatching the episode. The scene felt forced, as if the writers simply wanted Adelita out of the show instead of doing it organically. But what they and a lot of other fans had missed was that she made her own bed. As someone pointed out, her death was a full circle moment. She trained Minnie to be a ruthless killer who hates the Galindo cartel, but she also ended up working for them. Minnie felt betrayed, and when Adelita showed up for help, she killed her. It's a Shakespearean tragedy where a person creates something only to end up dying because of it. It's a world where there's no guarantee that your favorite characters will survive, but there's moments that don't need death to break your heart, and no other episode in the series does that better than the season 4 finale. The Santo Padre had a meeting, and Marcus revealed that Charming didn't order the hit on EZ. And in order to smooth things over between the warring clubs, Marcus told them that there needs to be a ceasefire. But EZ didn't accept that. He wanted surrender, and he didn't accept the Sun's terms. He told Marcus that if he did accept them, then he needed to be removed as club president. And that's exactly what happened. EZ activated the kill switch. Everyone at the table voted to remove Marcus, which pissed him off. And it was really sad to see him being treated like that. All he wanted was a better future for the Santo Padre. He'd given his entire life in service to the club, and all he got was betrayal and disrespect. He was happy that he wasn't going to be around to see it burn. But what's worse is that EZ installed himself as club president. Everyone thought that he was going to offer it to Bishop, but he switched it up. Even Angel was shocked. EZ's downward spiral was unavoidable. Fans knew that this happened only because of Coco's death in episode 5. If he were alive, he could have kept EZ in check. But for a lot of fans, the saddest thing was how everyone treated Marcus. One fan said that he saved them countless times from other chapters, only for them to vote him out. So, from Santo Padre activating the kill switch for Marcus in the season 4 finale, to Coco's death in the episode Death of the Virgin, those were the most heartbreaking moments in Mayans MC.